With us tonight, talk about many things, is the remarkable Jordan Maxwell. How are you feeling, Jordan?
Well, I'm feeling a little better since we last talked. I was very faint. I don't know what happened. I just got sick, but I do that quite often nowadays. I get very sick all of a sudden out of nowhere.
Well, you've got to watch and manage your diet very carefully. You've got to eat regularly. You've got to eat balanced. You have to eat nutritionally wholesome foods. I mean, Jordan went all day without eating, so zero blood sugar, and he kind of ate some food and got overwhelmed there chemically, and kind of just decided to lay down real quickly.
But I'm feeling a little better now.
Well, good. Well,
I stay up kind of late working on some projects that I want to get done.
Kind of late? You stay up till the next morning?
Yeah, I do. I stay up till like 6 o'clock at least in the morning. And then I just crash. So I've been doing that for years.
Yeah, and you don't eat all day, and when you crash with no food, and then you wake up and there's nothing in your tank, and you wonder why you don't feel good. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I insist you take better care of yourself.
Oh, I appreciate it, and thank you for it.
All right.
So,
well, here we are in this culture of vapid society. This.
I don't even know how to explain it.
I don't either. And look at this Mel Gibson stuff that's going on now.
Yeah. What's the story with him again?
I heard one recording, and I refuse to listen anymore. He married a Russian who I think had a child by someone else, another actor. Quickly had a child by him, and he, according to the one recording I heard, was not happy with her, the way she flaunted herself and so forth. And anyway, it's just not good there. But obviously, they've split, and she's claiming now that he hit her and broke a tooth or so. I don't know.
Well,
this is all disgusting.
It's all Hollywood.
Sure.
I mean, I like him. I like Mel Gibson. I think he's a
of course,
very
and yeah, and Whoopi Goldberg is defending him now. He's no racist, she says, and
I don't think. But
you go into
there's so many people out there that are pretty decent people trying doing what they're doing, but anytime you get involved in Hollywood and that whole establishment, you're going to have problems no matter what. You're going to have difficulties because it's such a treacherous society.
Well, yeah, it is. And Hollywood, Hollywood in the 30s and 40s and 50s, what it is now is if the ground were to open up and swallow it, it wouldn't bother me a bit.
No, you wouldn't miss anything either, because it has no talent left. No talent in Hollywood.
Go ahead.
There's a couple of really important people that are doing some phenomenal work, and but generally speaking, Hollywood's nothing more than just a slop factory. It's just pouring out slop. There's a few good things coming out of it, but very seldom.
Well, it's all product.
Yeah.
It's just product, and they condition the audience to want the product, and they create the product and give it to them.
And then they make movies like Wag the Dog, and which are telling you what they're doing. And showing how the news is manipulated, and they even make movies showing you how they do it.
Yep, but people don't get it.
Yeah.
I tell you, I went into there was what's this guy, doggone it, Judd Apatow, something like that. He makes films, producer. And he's had a string of them, and I accidentally walked into one. Actually, I think I went to, I'm not sure anyway, I was in a theater and I changed theaters. And it was that movie Knocked Up. And it was so frightening to see the audience not only laughing on cue, as they're trained to do, but laughing at material that was anything but funny. It was usually cruel, mean-spirited, and ugly. and people were howling at it.
I know, it's just scary. It really is.
Damn scary.
You can see it also in the sport of America. It's like the last days of the Roman Empire, where there's violence and bloodshed and there's no respect for human life.
Well, we're very close to the gladiators. I mean, they've got these what do they call them? Cage fighting or something.
That's exactly right.
And they're soon they'll fight to the death, and it'll happen.
Oh, of course.
And the money will be there, billions of dollars.
I think that this whole entire monstrosity that has been created is coming. It's falling apart, and I think that the people who put it together knew that it was going to start falling apart. So, like they did in the Roman Empire, they just let it go and make the money and split. That's what's being happened. That's what's been happening for a long time in Hollywood. They just put out garbage, and they have no respect for the country or for the people or for.
Oh, none for the people. None.
No, none. And so they just put out garbage and let the children watch it. Who cares? They're making millions off of it. If the country goes, what do they care? They're international. They couldn't care less.
Got another report the other day. I put it up on glioma brain tumors, the worst kind, glioma, from cell phone. Obvious link. Obvious. No heat involved. And they proved it. The science is irrefutable. You don't have to get hot spots up there. Anyway, there are parents all over the country buying their 10 and 12-year-old children cell phones and giving them cell phones. And there is the authorities are expecting and projecting 50,000 brain cancers in the next 10 years.
And that's probably very, very low.
Very low. Worldwide, it's
really
probably...
out there.
I think it's 15 million worldwide, but anyway, it's some enormous number.
Yeah.
It is. It's 50 million over 10 years worldwide. Yeah. So, at least if you're going to use a cell phone, get the hands-free device, get the earphone, the inline microphone. Don't stick that thing up next to your head. Well, and you know what heavy use is called by the people who study this? 26 minutes a day is heavy use and dangerous use. Now that's probably light for most people that use these phones, kids especially. They're on hours and hours and hours a day.
Wow, what is that telling you about what's coming?
Yeah.
The future does not look bright for the human race.
No, it doesn't have much of a future.
No.
It's got a future of indentured servitude, ill health, poor health, mental morons will be the yardstick and the standard. And there is, again, we go back to that thing we've talked about for years. How do you wake up and intellect when there's nothing there? You don't.
You got that right.
It doesn't happen.
That's right.
So this will be the first generation that doesn't live as long as its parents and is less healthy than its parents and is far less intelligent, or I shouldn't say informed, as its parents. We've reached the apogee. We are now sliding down.
And going quickly.
Very quickly. All right, I'll be right back with Jordan Maxwell in just a few minutes. Okay, back with Jordan. Let me do this, Jordan. I'm going to play a little bit of this latest CNN explanation on how this new cap that is on this unstoppable well is supposed to work. Let's see how. I haven't heard this. Let's see how CNN plays it up here. Now it doesn't want to work. I'll get it.
Well, I don't think the cap is going to work either. So.
No. Here. I think we got it. Do we have it?
We'll give them some credit, but you deserve some too.
Together. Okay, this is part of what's going on, and my director and producer Sean's going to take us through this. This is what's happening now. Oil is coming out of the blowout preventer around this cap. This cap that they're using now isn't working very well. It's working. It's just not working very well. It's not working because the top of the blowout preventer, the old blowout preventer, the top of that thing that they cut off, because there used to be that kinked pipe right here, that was just a bad cut job because they couldn't do it any better. They took that off. And now a new transition pipe, that they're calling it, is on top of this blowout preventer. Here's the bottom of the ocean. Here's now the new top. It's clean. It has a ring. It has something to grab onto, to clamp onto. Down, 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 down comes the new. We'll call it a blowout preventer. It's not. They're calling it a triple stop cap. 3 blowout preventer type valves kind of in a stack here. We'll move it around. So here's the old thing on the bottom. Here's the new thing that's attached to it. It's attached much better. There will be no more leaking here. The leak still will come out here. The pipe is still perforated up here for now so that they don't lose it and get blown off because of all the pressure. As soon as they get it clamped and all right attached very well right here, then all of a sudden they're going to, out of the deep, they're going to shut these valves off. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. They'll
wow.
One at a time. And those 3 valves will stop the oil all together and hold it in this column. And they'll say, that's it, you're done, no more. If it leaks a little, they can put a hose up here, a pipe, and still collect more. They hope they don't have to do that. This, literally, could be the end. And we could be 24, 48, 72 hours away. BP says 3 days. Maybe 3 days.
So it's a potential...
Done.
Potential absolute seal.
Yes. Now they're still going to keep drilling these relief wells and still going to cement this.
No, we get it. We get
it, right?
Praise the Lord if you can make that happen. By the way, we've got some shots from what it looks like right now.
Yeah.
Can you put those up, guys, or do we?
Okay, I'll put it up and you'll be able to see it. But this is journalism today. Hear how they talk? Isn't that
what a comedy?
Isn't that total comedy?
Yeah.
They got to be cool. They got to be hip. They got to use the right lingo.
And they have to say it real quick, hurry, because the American mind can only grasp a few words.
And did you see how they trivialized it, too, with their banter?
Yeah, yeah.
And no one says anything about, well, gee, why didn't BP tell us this thing was in the works and pre-release some illustrations or computer enhancements on what they were going to do? Nothing. So I don't get it.
Yeah, I kind of wonder what's really in fact going on, because virtually nothing we are ever told is the real truth. It's just a cover story. So I'm just wondering what the real story really is, and if this thing was purposely done, or if it's some kind of a retribution from the divine. You just keep messing with the earth and keep messing with it until one day it lets you make the final and ultimate mistake that's going to cost you everything. So, as far as I'm concerned, the oil companies are out of control. The whole entire superstructure of Western civilization is so corrupt now, and it's so far gone. So it's a very fearful thing, and that's why I'm very concerned about the spiritual aspect of what's going on, because if there is a divine presence in the universe that we call God, whatever it might be, there's going to be some terrible retribution coming. No matter what we do now. No matter what we do, there's a lot to pay back for. So, I don't know where it's all going to go, Jeff.
Well, it's going to go down. It's not going up. When you have a populace that is being financially looted and raped, the middle class will be essentially gone. There won't be much left of it.
Yeah.
There'll be a 2-tiered lower class. Then all they have to do is cull the herd and reduce the population world population by 80 to 90%, which is what they want to do. But they've taken their damn good time about it. I mean, they continue to exploit the planet and ruin it. So I don't know what they're going to preside over, even with a lot fewer people here. They've got problems.
True. Yeah, you're right. I mean, what will they have ultimately? They're going to have a raped Earth, and I don't think it can be stopped. I think that the feeding frenzy is too far gone now, and there are too many people with mindless executives who have no mind whatsoever. All they know is money and power and more, until finally it's a feeding frenzy now for money and power, and it doesn't look good for the human family.
No, I totally agree with you. How can it? Where are the signs? Where are the positive signs? I'm sorry, I don't see them. I wish I did.
I don't either.
And I still don't understand. Adam Trombley told me that the environmental damage had gotten to be so severe it took on a life of its own and became unstoppable. In other words, the point of no return came and left in the mid-'80s. He said it was too late then. Now, maybe they know this, and that's why they don't care. I don't know. But it doesn't make sense.
That's a very good argument. And I think that's why the space shuttle program is so important. It's so very important, and that space station has absolute, premier workmanship being done on that spaceship and on that space.
Well, the shuttle is finished, and now we're going to have to pay the Russians an exorbitant amount of fee to put our astronauts up on the ISS, which we paid 95% for.
Yeah, well.
It's crazy. Be right back, Jordan. Hang on. Okay, and we're back with Jordan Maxwell. So what you been working on?
Well, I've after that thing I sent you at the dawn of a new day, I want you to watch that because we could talk about that later another time.
Okay.
But
I will. I promise. I've just got to get there.
I know. It's kind of it's a very busy world.
My days are gone before they start. It's just.
I know. I understand. I've got two videos out there. One's called Moses the Lawgiver, and it's an extraordinary expose of the rest of the story in the Bible about Moses, where it comes from, where these stories come from, and of course that hidden dimension of world affairs when I'm talking about the Vatican connections to the Nazi Party and all that stuff that's going on during the Second World War that most people have no idea in the world about. And I'm working on one right now that it's going to be dealing with the chief cornerstone, which I've talked about before, but it has to do with extraordinary hidden symbolism depending on, I should say, including world situation which is coming, and how these symbols are being used and manipulated by world governments. So I don't even know exactly what I'm going to call it yet, but because it's so vast, I don't even know where to start with it. But it's going to be about a 3-hour presentation on the secret history of symbols, especially the one on the back of the dollar bill. We've been talking about that for years, but there's a bigger story concerning that pyramid and that all-seeing eye. There's a far, far bigger story yet on that symbol, and so that's going to be primarily the subject matter of that new video I'm doing. But I also have a special event coming up this weekend here in Los Angeles, and that you have been so gracious as to put on your website. It's a private event, and I'm going to start. So I think I'm going to have to start going even more private because I get so many threats and veiled threats from government. So I've come to a point where I don't like the threats anymore. I'm tired of them. I'm tired of being threatened.
Yeah.
I'm tired of the implications of, you could go to jail for this, you could go to jail for that. I'm just very, very weak and tired of all of that stuff. So I'm thinking about taking my work mostly private side now, and having people who want to know to talk with them for whatever time I have left. Because I'm tired of talking to the world who has no idea in the world what I'm talking about. So there's a special event that's on my home page. If you go to that, you'll see it top of the page, special event. It's going to be for just a handful of people here in LA, but we still have room. And I really want to thank you, too, and take the opportunity to thank you for all the years that you've been doing what you have, bringing to the people information which they can't get anywhere else. We go back a long time, Jeff, a long time ago. We started, I knew you, 14 years ago? We started doing some shows together.
Yeah.
And so it's been a long haul, and I know that it's cost you a lot. It's cost me terrible, too. But we've been
through a few ups and downs along the way.
Boy, have we ever. Going through some some of the biggest ones right now. So I just go one day at a time, do the best I can. And, but I am also beginning to see that the people of the world are beginning to awaken and become alarmed. I see that now, talking with people. They're starting to actually start thinking on their own that there's something wrong. But it's so massive that most people cannot get their mind wrapped around how big this thing really is. And, what the
that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the big leverage angle that they've always had over us. The average person cannot and will not even come close to approaching this with any kind of a
comprehensive understanding.
They can't do it. They don't have it.
I know. I know. And it is frightening. The implications of what's happening right now are just staggering. And the religious implications of all of this, and especially the partnership of religion as played with government and commerce, is ultimately somewhere going to come out. And I've been trying to talk about that for a long time. The churches and the synagogues and all of these places of worship are founded by the same people who are manipulating your government, manipulating your money, your life. They're the same people who are financing your churches, your synagogues, the mosques. All of these religious institutions are nothing more than front for the establishment, the hidden establishment behind world affairs. And that's why the more we worship, the more we go to church, the more we pray in our synagogues, the worse things get. It's because it was planned that way. This whole thing is nothing more than a human construct. It's being put there purposely to deceive you into thinking that you're communicating with something divine, when in point of fact all you're doing is wasting your time, because the guys who are running the planet are laughing at us, manipulating our religions, our theologies, our philosophies, especially our laws. That's where America is really doomed, as far as I'm concerned, is in her laws. There is no law. There's only what the people in power say it is. You know, we've been taken over by our enemies, and they've been telling us that for a long time. It's just that Americans don't know their enemies, from a hole in the ground. They wouldn't know. All they know is what they will see on television.
Well said.
But our enemies are manipulating us. They're throwing us into prison. They are breaking families up. They're destroying the republic. And the people have no idea, because they're watching television and have no comprehension of what's actually going on, until it's going to be too late when they finally see it. And so people like you have been trying to help the public to awaken, but it's an extraordinary story of betrayal and treason, high crimes and treason against the state that's been going on for God knows how long.
Well, and genocide too. It's not just betraying someone; it's liquidating an awful lot of people.
Boy, is that the truth. They're doing it everywhere, all over. Yeah. It's a concerted thing. It's all concerted from somewhere, and there are a lot of international organizations that are working together behind the scenes that Americans have no idea in the world about.
Not a clue. And those few who do understand it enough to try to be conversant about it have lost so many friends, marriages, lost jobs. That's another part of it. So,
no doubt about it.
It's just not good.
It's a tragic thing that's happening to the human family. And I don't really see that the human race as an entity can raise above what's going on. I don't think the people have it in them.
Not anymore.
Understand and do it.
No, they may have had it 100 years ago.
Yeah, maybe.
At least the potential, but it's gone.
Right. It's gone.
Yeah. Back with Jordan in just a minute. Okay, and we're back. Our final segment with Jordan Maxwell tonight. Looking ahead, not easy to do without grimacing. The 2012 issue. Now, if they do successfully cap this that will kind of take the scenario in a different direction. But the drumbeat begins. The war with Iran talk is up again on a very high level. the stooge government of the United States is doing what the Israeli government wants, and sanctions are being laid on these people. A sovereign nation of 77 million people. And by the way, the Jewish community in Iran wants nothing to do with leaving. They're very happy there. They get along just great. That was a great embarrassment to the Zionist government of the State of Israel. They were kind of demanding that they leave and come home. They said, we are home. We don't want to go there. So leave us alone. I don't know. Do you foresee, what do you foresee? A second term for Obama, first of all, or is he a one-term?
Well, I think the administration, not just of Obama, but the whole United States corporate corporation is so corrupt now that there's just no hope for it. And Obama is about as worthless as you can get. He has no power. But I mean, even
that's the sad thing. Even excuse me, but even ostensibly intelligent writers keep talking about him as if he has some sway over what really happens, and it boggles my mind. It's just like calling the oil catastrophe an oil spill by calling him president. It's a joke.
It is a joke. It's a sick joke. He has no power whatsoever. It's the Zbigniew Brzezinski's and all of the international Soviet communist minds.
Kissinger and Associates, George Soros, we could go on and on.
Yeah, on and on. These are the power blocks, and I don't know what to say. It's so overwhelmingly obvious. He has no power whatsoever. He prances around as long as his masters allow him to. Well, it's just like all the other presidents who've been in there. They don't have any power.
Right.
I mean, the whole idea of the presidency, we've talked about this before, is the president of a corporation. There's a world of difference between the United States of America and the U.S. The United States the U.S. or United States is a corporation. It's a privately owned corporation, a company.
Right.
And all companies have to have a president, a vice president, and secretary treasurer. If you're a corporation, you've got to have that. So all Obama is just a figurehead of a corporation. It's privately owned, and very few people in America have any idea that the U.S. government is a privately owned company. It's a corporation called U.S. Co-op. And it's an extraordinary story. Go on my website to the links and scroll down to Commerce and Government. There's a lot of information there about the United States Corporation, who founded it, where it was incorporated. It's an extraordinary story. People have no idea in the world what's really going on and how this stuff really works.
And its people are all part of the corporation. They're owned assets of the corporation.
That's exactly right. Your body is considered a part of the corporation.
Yeah, that's certain value, and it's all projected. They've got supercomputers running all this stuff all the time.
I mean, I've talked about it so often, and there's so much in my head I'd like to talk about that subject, but there's just so much of it, I don't even know where to start. While the masses of the Americans have no idea in the world that this stuff is going on, I've been looking at it for almost 50 years, and I don't even know where to start. There's so much information right in your face.
Right.
If you just know what you're looking at, know where to look. It's all there. That's what I've been trying to do all my life, is to awaken people. I've said so many times, I'm not the world's foremost authority on anything. But I had the good fortune of being around people in my preteen years and growing up that were giving me the ideas about where to look. And even at 10 and 11 years old, I'm sitting and listening to people tell me about the maritime admiralty and how laws work and where churches come from and how the financial centers of the world actually work. And so by the time I reached 19, 20 years old, I pretty well knew the entire thing that we live under is a sham. It's just a business corporation. And once you understand that you are nothing more than a somebody else owns you. They own your body. It's on the security on the New York Stock Exchange. So it's a hell of a story. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What a story. And I've been trying to talk about this for a long time. Incidentally, I'd like to say to anyone listening, if you see videos and materials out on the web, like at YouTube and videos, I have never put a video on anything on the web ever. And so anytime you see anything out on the web of videos that I have done, I didn't put it there. Other people will buy something of mine, they'll buy a video and go immediately and put it out there on the web. So
there's no morality. Theft means nothing. Lying means nothing.
I know.
To these people.
It's tragic. But I do have something I am working on, and I hope to be able to get it done real quick. I'm about 3/4 of the way done, and it's on the subject of the symbol of the dollar bill that I've been talking about since back in, 1959-60. I was talking about the occult symbolism, hidden symbolism on the dollar bill. Well, I've got a real doozy coming. It's going to be about a 2.5-hour presentation on that symbol on the back of the dollar bill, but it's going to be massive if I could just get the thing done. I'm halfway through with it now, and hopefully I'll be getting it out there within the next month.
Do you have some help producing it, or are you doing it mostly yourself?
No, I'm just doing it by myself, and, like I've done everything else. So I don't have any financial backing to do anything, so I just put it all together myself. Because I've been looking at this subject for since '59, and but I never really had any professional backing to do what I do. So I'm just doing the best I can. But this one's going to be a blockbuster. I'm telling you, it's going to be opening a lot of eyes about the dollar bill, what's on it, because I started talking about the dollar bill, as you know, many years ago. And since then, there's a lot of interest in those symbolism. But I have yet to find anyone who has really nailed this down, except a couple people that are extraordinarily brilliant and wise that I ran into a long time ago, and I've been kind of building on their work. But you will never hear those names, and you'll never know who they are. But I've been putting this stuff together for a long time, so I've got it. It's pretty much on the way now. So I figure within the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'll have this new product ready. So, like I said, it's going to be hopefully within under 2 hours, because there's a massive amount of information about the symbolism of the dollar that people have never been told. So that's one of the big things I'm working on right now.
Very good. Well, I hope you do produce more videos. These are records, and what you're producing is a great record of our time. That symbol is so far-reaching.
Oh, is it ever?
It's just amazing.
You have no idea in the world, especially religious people, both Jews and Christians and Islamic, have no concept or idea on this planet of the implications of the symbols on the American dollar, $1 bill. It's extraordinary stuff. And it has heavy occult symbolism woven into it. But unless and until you take the time and dig for many years, as I've been doing, you're never going to figure out what this thing is really all about, how it's being played. So that's a new product that's coming out very soon. I hope to have it done, as I said, within the next 2 weeks, and it'll be on my website.
Good for you.
Incidentally, my website is jordanmaxwell.com.
Do we want
people... one other thing I'd like to say is if you're in the L.A. area and you want to attend this private dinner, there's still a few seats open. We only have room for 40 people. That's it. And I want to talk a little bit about things I don't normally talk about on radio, and so or in public and anywhere. So just go on my website, and at the top of the page you'll see a little banner for a special project, and that's the dinner we're going to be doing this Saturday. And my goodness, we can go on for hours talking about hidden symbolism of world government.
So it's Saturday for those in the L.A. area, and when you go to jordanmaxwell.com, we're special event. It's right there on the right-hand side. Just a little box. Click on that. I'm going to be putting that up under Jordan's name as well in my guest box.
Thank you for that, too.
Sure. It should have been up by now, but it'll be up momentarily. Come and spend an evening dinner with Jordan as he gives an impromptu lecture on his most renowned subjects and others that he doesn't